In May 2019, the Court of Justice of the European Union delivered a new ruling that has to do with time tracking in the EU. The ruling states that all companies within the EU are obligated to track their employees' working hours. Where did this ruling come from? It was the result of a lawsuit against Deutsche Bank in Spain, initiated by Spanish labor unions. What was the reason for the dispute, you might ask? It turns out the local subsidiary of Deutsche Bank was only tracking employee overtime. That, however, didn't fully meet the requirements of the EU's Working Time Directive, which states employers must ensure their staff get sufficient rest periods. The directive foresees that employees are obligated to get at least 11 hours of steady rest a day and at least 24 hours of steady rest per week, as well as breaks every 6 hours of work. It also specified that the average weekly working time can't exceed 48 hours. In other words, if companies only track overtime hours, employees are left in an unfavorable position. Without time tracking data, it becomes impossible for them to prove hours worked and therefore ensure that their fundamental rights, as well as the rights established in national legal acts, are complied with. Hence, the new requirements. But what does the new court ruling mean for EU companies? The ruling came to force instantly and refers to all types of businesses and companies of all sizes that employ people in any of the now 27 EU member states. This means that all employers should already be using an objective, reliable, and accessible time tracking system, as the ruling requires, to comply with the EU Working Time Directive and national legal acts. Neither lack of awareness of such a ruling nor lack of funds in the company's budget releases the employer from this obligation. What if the employer decides not to comply with the ruling? First, the company is at risk of getting sued. Employees who feel that their work time isn't accurately tracked can take legal action against the company. And second, if there is a dispute between the employer and employee, the court will always take into account the worker's position of weakness in the employment relationship. For example, if an employee states that he or she has worked 48 hours a week, while the employer argues that it's only been 30, it's the employer's responsibility to present proof in the court. For these reasons, implementing time tracking is in the company's best interests. Not to mention that stats also show time tracking gives an instant 30% employee productivity boost, which in the long term results in higher revenue. How to implement time tracking in your company? It's not specifically defined what time tracking systems employers must use by the ruling. Theoretically, this can be punching in and punching out on arrival and departure, manually filling out spreadsheets, or simply writing down your arrival times, breaks, and leaving times on a piece of paper. However, there is a question of reliability. Can you really trust a time tracking system that relies on manual input? And after all, how practical is it when there are automated tools available, such as software? As there is such a vast choice of time tracking software out there, you would need to pick the best one that will help your company with the new ruling, as well as ensure other benefits, such as higher productivity and efficiency. Here are some of the best features that you can look for in a software. It's automatic. It starts automatically as soon as the employee turns on a computer and stops when he or she logs out. Make sure that the time tracking solution doesn't require much manual input, which will make it less reliable and user-friendly. It tracks idle time. It registers the time when an employee is away from the computer, for example, on a break. Choose a time tracking system that allows employees to log time away from the computer so that they can register work-related reasons for being offline, such as meetings, business lunches, etc. It tracks URLs and app usage. Make sure that the software tracks which websites and programs an employee has been using during work hours. This is useful in cases of disputes, especially when it comes to the subject of payment. For example, if an employee argues that he or she has worked 8 hours but has spent 90% of that time scrolling social media, the truth and the proof would be on your side. It offers privacy features. Time tracking is almost always perceived as privacy invasion, so make sure that the time tracking tool you choose has employee-friendly features, such as the ability to enable a private time option and surf the web without being tracked. Look for a solution that balances the rights and the needs of both parties. DeskTime is a real-time automatic time tracking software that has all of these features mentioned, as well as others that boost productivity even further. Take the Pomodoro timer, for example, that reminds you to take a break every 52 minutes of your workday. Find out more about what DeskTime has to offer on our website at desktime.com and sign up for a 14-day free trial to enjoy all the perks of time tracking. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting productivity content. See you in the next video. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos. You'll find everything you need to know on office productivity. And while you're at it, subscribe. We put out new videos every Thursday.